His speed is whatever the writers need it to be so that they can write their story.
I know it's super convenient, dude. It's my name is Barry Allen, and I may or may not be the fastest man alive.
May or may not be, depending
on which
in.
episode villain and how the story is written. I may or may not be the fastest and or dumbest man alive. We will see today.
Mixed Teas presents the Popcast.
Hey, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we're talking about The Flash. It's back from break. We're going to give you a recap and a review and tell you our thoughts about it. But first, don't forget our 1,600 subscribers. We're almost there. We're about 1,400 now. A couple hundred more subs, and we are going to do that huge, amazing giveaway. So get in there, get your comments and your subscribe on, and you'll be a part of that giveaway. Shane?
Yes, sir.
I want to open up a little different today. You said earlier you had some information, some breaking news about The Flash. I don't know if it's breaking, but
I don't think it's breaking news. But yeah.
How about you give us a little hint about what's going on with The Flash?
Yeah, just a couple of things. If people haven't heard about it, WWE wrestling champ Goldberg will be on a two-episode arc, and it was according to Goldberg's Twitter account. It's unclear as to who will be playing, but it looks like it's set to happen. And he's the second WWE wrestler to appear on the series. We had one back in season 2.
You know what? Can I quickly just theorize on what Goldberg's gonna be playing? I think he's gonna be playing a United States senator interested in biotechnology. No, I'm kidding. He's gonna be a thug. He's definitely gonna be a thug. He's gonna be some thug meta or some gangster or something. That's all he's gonna be playing. 100% sure.
No, yeah, there's no way that he's. I mean, Goldberg is one of those guys who he brings his muscles with him everywhere he goes, and I have personal experience with that. So really? I'm not going to go into all the details.
What? But no. You can't say you have personal experience with Goldberg and then stop talking. What? What is that?
You want to hear the story?
I mean, okay, I'll try to keep it short. Like 20 minutes, yeah.
No, I'll try to keep it short. Okay, when I was stationed on board USS Ronald Reagan, I was one of the public affairs representatives on the ship.
Shane was in the Navy, everybody. Shane was in the Navy.
I was in the Navy. You didn't know about me, and I was a journalist and a public affairs specialist. But here's the thing: it was funny. Goldberg actually came out just before that remake of First and 10 came out with Adam Sandler. Do you remember that movie?
Nope.
It was the remake of the Burt Reynolds original movie. Anyways, he was in it. He was excited, and he flew out to the ship, and he was going to show it to everybody. So we, of course, ran the movies on the ship and everything. So he was hanging out with me, and we watched the entire movie before it was released right there with him. And,
wow.
And he's all in his crazy Goldberg, muscly, huge man. So Goldberg does it. He does the whole thing. He has to get off the ship because the red carpet for the movie is that night.
Wow.
Back in L.A., right? And we were out of San Diego. Well, it was the weather was bad, so he couldn't get off the ship. The plane couldn't come off the aircraft carrier's deck. So he was so mad and upset because he was missing a really big opportunity for himself as an actor. He wanted to, rub shoulders with all these people.
Yeah.
He was so mad, dude. He went down into the weight room, which was actually 2 decks below where I worked, and he just started lifting weights. And I went down there. He was throwing weights around. He had just gone crazy down there. Weights everywhere.
That's awesome.
And he was so mad. He's screaming at the walls, and I'm like, all right.
Hey, that's how you get frustration out. It's no one's fault. So break inanimate objects. I'm down for that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty. I'm like, wow, man. I could see how being in the ring with this guy might have been crazy if it was for real. But anyway, so that's my story with him. He ended up getting off the ship the next day, and he seemed fine. He was a great guy.
Goldberg, and he can only add to the Flash. And right now, I feel like the Flash sort of needs it. So
yeah, I'm ready for it. I know we're gonna do that. I got one more little story here.
Talk to me.
So Arrowverse producer Greg Berlanti, he's speaking up about the sexual harassment allegations made against producer Andrew Kreisberg.
Hashtag me too.
That led to Warner Brothers' decision to fire him. So Kreisberg was let go from his post as executive producer of Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. after the network investigated 19 claims of harassment that included unwanted kissing and groping. Says Berlanti, I was so shocked. I was disappointed. I was confused.
Sorry, can I break in there real quick?
Sure.
So the showrunner at Supergirl, the super virtual signaling, self-proclaimed feminist showrunner is actually a sexual deviant that harasses women.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
But,
We're in 2018, everybody. Give it a hand. Give it a hand, everybody. Come on.
This is the world we live in now. So, hey, listen, all I got to say is, in this day and age, you want to keep your hands and your mouth to yourself, or else you're probably on the front page. Anyways, Greg Berlanti
should do that
basically
regardless
said,
of the front page. Just don't sexually harass people. I mean...
yes, there is no. Well, what's interesting is
I don't understand these Hollywood types that just like require. It's like their fetish.
They do whatever they want.
Yeah, you know, today I'm gonna sexually harass young actresses. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Oh, what about that random dude that sexually harassed Terry Crews? Like the balls of steel that you have to have as a producer. To sexually harass a 7-foot-tall, 400-pound, 0% body fat actor. Terry Crews, man.
Yeah.
Huge nuts on that on whoever decided that would be a good idea.
I don't know what the heck was going on there. That was really weird. That was like the weirdest story of the year.
No,
I don't know.
I was like, I'm just surprised Terry Crews didn't just like put that dude through a wall.
Well, I guess he told him to knock it off, but he just ignored it.
The guy just didn't listen. He goes, "No." Like Terry Crews.
I don't know if I'm Terry Crews if I want that exactly getting out, but okay. But hey,
Terry
it's Terry
Crews
Crews.
Is like, what do you mean no? I'm gonna break your neck.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, he's a nice guy. I guess
he's a very nice
he
guy,
tough,
but like he's huge, bro. The guy is massive. He's like Shaq without the body fat.
Sort of. He's not that tall. So.
No, he's not that tall, but he's pretty damn tall. He's like
he's a big guy.
6'8" or something like that, right? 6'7".
I don't think Terry Crews is that. See, now you're gonna make me look it up.
Yeah, now I gotta look it up. I don't know how we went from like the Flash News to Terry Crews sexual harassment.
And you stopped me in the middle of the news story.
I'm sorry, guys.
You know, it's
I have
okay.
ADD. I can't focus for longer than a few seconds on the same topic.
He's 6'3".
All right, whatever. He's still super tall, and he's like massively, huge muscles.
Yes, he is 2 inches taller than I am.
I'm looking at this article of Terry Crews. That's a specimen of a man. Mm.
Yeah. Okay, we need to move on from there because I'm pretty sure that's sexual harassment. Hey, by the way, somehow the regular workforce managed to get rid of sexual harassment by the 90s. Yeah. So Hollywood is taking a lot longer to clean this up.
Yeah. Can we figure it out, Hollywood? Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
While you're starting your hashtag #MeToo movements and trying to get rid of sexual harassment, remember, we're currently the only actual perpetrators of this crime. So maybe rethink your actions. All right, moving on. Maybe.
So anyways, just to finish my comment here in the middle of my quote, you stopped me. Basically, Greg Berlanti, who's responsible, for the production of these shows, his production company headed by Sarah Scheichter, agreed with Kreisberg's dismissal, and they completed their own investigation, shared the findings, and made the determination that firing Kreisberg, they agreed with it. So apparently that's getting support from Greg Berlanti as well. So that's recent news.
All right, Kreisberg's a pervert. We're on it. All right, everybody. Hey, maybe that means Supergirl gets better, because right now it's pretty garbage. So, no offense to any Supergirl fans out there. I've been watching it, and I just don't understand. Like, they're just really getting you to focus on characters that just don't matter, and like, even the Legion stuff is really cool, but that's the only thing that's cool right now. It's a mess.
Yeah, I can't watch Supergirl. It's too much.
I watch all the Arrowverse stuff, but I'm not 100% on like half of it. Okay, and before we get into the review, check out this Speed Force t-shirt. May the Speed Force be with you. Get it at mixes.com. Use coupon code Shane or Brian for 30% off. Remember, whatever coupon code you use is telling us who you like more. Pick me.
Yeah.
Pick me. Shane
pick
sucks.
me.
Shane totally sucks.
Yeah, guys, this is cool. Just pick one of us. Anyways, we're going to have the link to this in the drop down if you guys want to get yourself a Speed Force shirt.
Yeah.
I like that one.
This shirt is really cool. I'm waiting for mine in the mail. Okay, guys, let's get on to the recap. This episode was a doozy. And when I say doozy, I don't say that in a positive way.
No.
This episode reminded me about the problems I had with the episode that aired before the break. And it's very frustrating. This episode was frustrating. Every decision Barry made me frustrated. I don't understand what the writers are planning. It seems like they're literally writing themselves into a corner that they're going to throw some crazy thing out there, some crazy plot device that we have to accept in the future in order to get the Flash back on track. And I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I feel like they're doing this old school superhero storyline where, he's got to be so good that there can be absolutely no, nothing wrong. Even if I'm not guilty,
he can't even testify.
I'm going to go to prison because it's just the right thing to do.
You can't testify and leave out the fact that you're the Flash? That makes no sense.
I guess he felt like he would have had to lie. I don't know.
So omission is lying. Like, I don't want anybody to know I'm the Flash. That's almost like, hey, I want to do this podcast and I want to talk about my poop schedule because it's been irregular. Does anybody want to hear that? No. But would I be lying if I left out how irregular my poop schedule has been because I'm on this weird soup salad diet? No. They wouldn't be lying. That's just like, I'm not sharing information because it's not pertinent to this case.
If what you're saying is lying, then I want you to lie to me as much as possible.
Yes.
Because I don't want to hear about none of that stuff.
All right, let's get into this. Okay, we open with Barry Allen in an interrogation room, and he's being grilled by the captain and some other detective, and he just says he's innocent. Again, another scene like, I don't know. It seems like he didn't even try that hard. Like,
no, yeah, the whole time he's like not trying. It's almost like he wants to go to prison.
I'm being framed. Go figure it out. Like, dude, that's the information. Like,
right?
He's just so apathetic to the fact that he's in cuffs right now. It's weird.
Yeah, as you go through this, it definitely you get the feel that he almost wants to go to prison. That. He fights everything. He fights every possible thing that can help him. And even what
I understand the whole like not telling people you're the Flash thing. I would not do that.
I get that.
But not to rehash last episode, but there's a moment in this episode where he is so fast that he brings Iris West into the Speed Force with him. And they have a 2.5 minute, I timed it, conversation.
Yeah.
Right? In the span of what would only have to be a blink because no one noticed that he's out of his chair for 2.5 minutes. Okay?
Right.
That means this guy is moving like 27 times the speed of light. Okay?
Right.
What I'm saying is, if he's that fast, and again, not to rehash last episode, but when you walk into your apartment and there's a dead body and a knife on the floor and there's cops knocking at your door, maybe, I don't know, not be there when the cops bust it down, or maybe not be there, take the knife and the body with you, Maybe the cops come in and they bust down your building and there's nothing there for them to report. That way they don't find you holding a knife over a dead body in your apartment. And if you're that fast, You're not evading the police, dude. You're just like you're stopping somebody from framing you while it's happening.
Yeah, he did have the opportunity to basically stop the framing completely from happening.
The cops knocked on the door, and he like starts thinking about Iris until they come in and find him with over a dead body with a knife in his hand.
Yeah, no, that was that's
damning
big
evidence of all time.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Okay.
It would have been totally okay if they just found him dead and then arrested Barry Allen.
Yes. Why
he didn't
not
have
that?
to be. He didn't have to find the body.
Because that brings up so much questions. Like, how are you not fast enough to leave your apartment?
I mean, he chose not to, which goes to this whole thing of why it's like he wants to repeat what his dad went through or something. He's got like daddy issues and needs to go to prison or something.
All right.
I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. All right, moving on. They get him out on bail, and now he's at Team Flash, and he's just sitting there apathetic. Yeah, man.
But they're being dishonest here.
How's that?
Right? Because he's supposed to be either at Joe's house or in the precinct, and
right.
Cisco's wired it so he can be wherever he wants to be.
Right. Oh. I didn't even realize that.
Right? So I mean, how's that honest?
That's not.
If we're gonna play Boy Scout,
it's not honest. It's the opposite of honest.
Yeah. Whatever.
That's so weird. Yeah. So Cisco wired it so that his ankle monitor shows him either at home or the courthouse.
Yeah.
Which is probably weird. By the way, if you're the guy monitoring that ankle monitor and he's just randomly appearing at the courthouse or at home, you'd be like, "What's going on right now?"
It's like, man, I'm not going to ask any questions.
No. And then he has this conversation with Iris, and he's like, "I'm being strong for you, baby." She's like, "But don't be, man. We need to beat this." He goes, "It's all going to work out. It's all. I'm terrified, but it's all going to work out." I can't do it.
This is so cringy. The whole thing is so cringy.
The whole thing is super cringe.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I would like to hear? Ready? Barry, what are we gonna do about your course? Your case? They might arrest you forever. Iris, I thought we were the Flash. They're arresting both of us.
Oh.
What, Barry?
Oh,
what are you talking
man.
about? I don't know. You said we were the Flash.
Yeah.
You're going down with me. I told them that you helped me murder him. What? Why would you do that? Because remember, we're the Flash. Bum, bum, bum.
Right. That would have been funny. I actually thought later on in the show she was going to say she did it. I thought that's what she was going to say.
Oh.
I thought they were going to tease us with us thinking she was going to say Barry Allen is the Flash. But I thought she was going to say Barry Allen is innocent. I killed her.
And it would make sense considering it's her apartment.
Well, and plus she had just left and with the wife and met her outside, and she's like, "What are you willing to do for your husband?"
Yeah,
basically
that would have been great writing for real,
right?
That would have been amazing.
Cool. But no, Barry got up and then went in the Speed Force and said, "You can't say I'm the Flash.
Can't do it, baby. Don't do it." All right.
I go to prison.
All right, now we go over to this other crazy couple.
I got to go to prison.
We go to this crazy couple. Dominique as the thinker, and his wife, the mechanic, or I guess the thinker's. I don't know. It's a weird menage a trois of weirdness. He has the powers that Dominique had, so he can read her mind. It's sort of OP that the thinker, who's like over the top, 12th level intellect, also has the ability to read minds. Like, this guy.
Yeah, that's like really OP.
There should be some kind of like medical side effects from like that much brain power.
I love how the writers always create villains that basically are way OP.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on. Sorry, I got lost for a minute in his dreamy eyes.
This is a good actress, actually. I got to tell you, she's a good actress.
I think she overreacted a little bit in that courtroom scene, to be honest.
Yeah, Kim Engelbrecht. She did overact, but I mean, the whole character and everything isn't overacting. but she was convincing with her emotions. She's able to really use her emotions pretty openly like that. I thought it was pretty good acting. It's better than most of the other acting.
If I was a juror member, after like that fifth time that she started crying and looking at the jury, I would have been like, oh wow, well she's super pandering. What's she hiding? I mean,
well, yeah, but you're also an unsympathetic bastard. So I
am an unsympathetic bastard.
I mean, so you would never even made it to that.
She was so overacting that scene. I didn't like that scene. It was super overacted. Well,
I didn't like it either, but it was convincing, and it would have been compelling if you had been a person who was sympathetic to her plight.
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right, that's actually a problem I have with this episode, is they go through all this trouble to basically capture her with the new body that he's in and get pictures of him, and then she has like this explanation that everybody accepts it. It's like, gosh, it was so pointless.
Your husband just died. Like,
he gave me permission to be with somebody else. I'm like, I mean, that's got to give you a moment of pause, or I don't know why they went there.
I don't know. All right, so she's worried about something, and he can tell she's worried. She's feeling apprehensive about the whole, the thinker is now in Dominique's body, and it throws her off a little bit because she's been with the same, old crippled man for years, and now she's with this dreamy-eyed,
young stud,
beautiful man.
Like, you're really having problems with this, huh? All right.
Yeah. I'm not gay, and he turns beyond. So I don't know. What are you worried about, mechanic?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So moving on from that, she clearly subdues her worry and starts making out with him. All right, now we're at the courthouse. And by the way, I don't know if Joe's wife, girlfriend, whatever she is to him, significant other, lawyer friend, is just a bad lawyer, or if her hands are tied.
Well, her hands are tied. I mean, it would be great if in this picture right here, Barry was just eating a sandwich or something. He really should just be like munching on a big old no turkey sandwich.
He's like,
yeah, totally. No, exactly. That's exactly it, man. With like one of those old viewfinders from when we were kids, like looking through
He's looking at his phone.
Yeah, something. I mean, he is so not interested.
Yeah, super apathetic. So maybe her hands are tied, but she really did not come off as a strong, capable lawyer. She seemed.
Well,
first of all, she got ran over every time she dealt with this guy. And by the way, this guy was in Boston Legal as a lawyer. He's one of my favorite lawyer actors. He always does a good lawyer role. It's great, man.
He's been acting for a long time, and I want to catch him for you. It's Mark Valley.
Mark Valley. He was in Boston Legal, and he played one of my favorite characters in Boston Legal because he was like the actual yin to James Spader's yang. He was the 100% 180 opposite to James Spader, and their interactions were amazing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. He was on The Fringe, which was kind of a pretty cool. You got him out here on Boston Legal. Yeah, he's done he was on ER for a while. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot.
Whatever it is, he rolled over.
Oh, that's what it was.
That lawyer.
He was Jack Devereaux on Days of Our Lives, bro. I knew I'd seen him somewhere.
Jack Devereaux, another dreamy guy.
Yeah, no, seriously, he was on Days. He was actually really good on Days of Our Lives. Yeah, so he actually did a really great job. Her problem is they've got all this evidence against Barry, and Barry won't testify. And so basically her whole argument at the end is, Barry's a good guy.
That's not good enough. And where's your character witnesses? The only character witness you had was the captain, the guy who found him over the dead body. Like, that's not a good character witness. And it wasn't even her character witness. She cross-examined his character witness.
Right, and then he came back and recrossed. And he's
then he recrossed and destroyed her cross. Where is her witnesses? Her closing remarks by saying he's a good guy is not good enough. You need to paint doubt in the juror's mind. The reason he was at his apartment was because of an alarm went off. That's his apartment. He walked in. He saw a dead body. He went to help, and the cops show up. This is a frame up, clear and simple. She didn't even mention that. Like, she's like, he's a good guy. Give him leniency. Like, come on, dude.
Well, it's tough when the writers, the actor, the character, and your story arc is forcing him into jail, because at the beginning, the very first episode, he said, "I didn't do it, Your Honor. I didn't kill him." So they are forcing him into prison. I mean, and there is no nice or good way about forcing a TV show to go in a certain direction, and it showed it in this episode.
But why not paint her as a capable lawyer?
I mean, they could have wasted screen time by bringing people he knows and saying what a great guy he is.
Like, even her closing remarks, instead of her saying he's a good guy, etc., giving her zero oomph in her statement, give her some kind of like sassy lawyer speak. But like, look, isn't it convenient that he shows up at his home after an alarm goes off? There's a dead body and a perfectly positioned knife, and all the evidence 120% points to Barry, when Barry has had no history of violence, no history of crime, and he's worked tirelessly for this city for, 10 years. This is a clear and obvious frame-up, and the police have not done their job in finding the actual killer. They're just going for the easy conviction. That's what I would have said, and I'm not a lawyer.
No, that's true. I mean, maybe they could have done that, but at the same time, he just comes back and says, "Remember, the skin is under, his DNA is underneath his fingernails." So it's like, I mean, he was totally screwed. I mean, they painted it. I mean, how did the DNA get under his fingernails? They didn't even talk about that, how that happened, or the philosophy, how did that happen? I guess when they were fighting that one episode, I don't know. It was very boring. I mean, the whole episode was like, no big surprises.
Super boring.
Just next episode. Okay, let's wait a week till we get the story further. Then you had this nuclear guy.
Yeah, well, here's the only like semi-exciting part of the series. But this poor bastard didn't even know he was a meta. He's just like a regular blue-collar working class dude, opening his first checking account, starting his job, making his life. He's not even a bad dude. He's just a regular guy. And everywhere he goes, people are just passing out. And he's so absent-minded because he's like not even paying attention to the fact that everybody is literally like passing out around him.
Right. Yeah, he totally doesn't even notice. I'm not passing out. I think they're dying, right?
No, they were passing out. They're like getting radiation sickness.
Okay, so they didn't die.
Yeah, you can get radiation sickness and not die, but it depends on how long you're around that thing before it's fatal or not. So, they call the detectives. Joe West shows up with Cisco in tow. And I love this conversation with his captain. By the way, I like this captain a lot.
I do too.
He was, honestly, for this episode, one of the few good things. His acting was on point. He went to Barry's house to arrest him because he loves Barry, and that call was, he was worried about him, and he found him with a dead body, and as a good cop and a good man, he's doing his job, and then he tries to defend Barry based on his character, but the evidence is evidence. And then when he's at the bank, he gives Joe the option to bail out of the case. I like this guy a lot. They're really painting this captain as someone that you should trust and like, which means that they're probably going to kill him in some upcoming season.
I 100% agree with you. Everything you just said. I really liked him in this episode as well. He's a shining light. He's a stabilizing force on the show, even though he's not on it a lot. You can always count on whatever he's going to say as being pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
And I do like his character. So, yeah, no, I agree. I wish he would have, when he asked him, is Barry Allen still a good man? I wish he would have said, Yeah, of course he's still a good man, even though you said all that stuff. But, of course they're trying to get him to prison, so.
Right. Anyways, Joe takes the case of this nuclear guy. Back to the courthouse. I had to get a shot of this because
his name's Fallout, by the way.
Well, they don't, dude. I wasn't gonna reveal that because there's no reveal for that yet. Remember, that's coming up.
Oh, it is when
in the next scene when they're at Star Labs, and that's all right. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. It's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, Shane.
I ruined it.
All right, I want to get a shot of this because look what the text says on the courthouse. Yeah. The true administration of justice is the firmest pillar of good government. I've actually seen that before, so I thought that was that's a really cool quote, and I wanted to share it on the show.
Okay.
All right. Nice. Back at the courthouse, that captain flew from the bank back to the courthouse because he is now a character witness wearing the same tie and the same clothes. He clearly came straight from the bank, and it's time for him to throw Barry under the bus. No. He actually tries to help Barry. The only remotely good thing about Barry's case was this captain. Again, not a single witness on the defense.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I've seen a couple lawyer shows, and I know that you should have witnesses, character witnesses, when you're dealing with a murder trial. I'm just saying.
Barry might have said, look, I don't want any witnesses because they're going to have to lie.
Oh, I mean, at least show that ridiculous idea then.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So she cross-examines him, and just so you know, he like we said before, he says Barry's a good guy, he did hard work, he's a high character, blah blah, and then this guy comes back and crosses. He goes, well, if he's such high character, why was he late to work 72 times?
Yeah, what a weird number, right?
It's also a weird question. What does that have to do with a murder trial? Shane, God damn it. Help me with this, bro. And this guy's answer, it was like so weak. He should have been like, what does him being late to work have to do with anything? But no, instead he was like, yeah, he's late to work sometimes. But he got his job done. He stayed late to make up for it. Like everybody in the world does. Like,
right. Yes, that sabbatical. Did he tell you why he was going on it?
But who cares? What does that have to do with anything?
You know what they were trying to do? They were trying to use the fact that he's the Flash against him. They were, that's all it was. They were trying to identify his, the holes in him in what he's doing. So maybe he was doing illicit bad things, right?
We have a couple employees, and I don't think they have ever. I don't think we have a single employee in a decade of working that has 100% on time rate. In fact, most of them are like 20 to 50% not on time. Just the way life.
Is there an actual start time? I wasn't even sure.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Oh. Business opens at 9, right? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, like that's. It's just so weird that question was brought up and the whole sabbatical thing. I know they're trying to use the Flash against him, but it seems shoehorned into the writing, and I feel like I'm criticizing every scene of this show right now.
No, that's the problem. The shoehorn feel that the Flash is just routinely shoehorning the writing into the story. I mean, it's forced.
It doesn't feel organic at all.
Why would the captain not still say, yeah, Barry Allen's a good guy? Because that's not what they wanted the jury to hear. So the writing, the writing a lot of times on the show doesn't carry a natural feel to it, a natural arc. And it's just throughout this episode, it's not natural. It's all forced down your throat.
And my question to the writers, how do you think that makes us as the audience feel? That you are shoehorning and pushing the narrative so hard that it makes that we have to either be dumb or uncaring to not see where something is going. because there was no doubt in my mind that when that guy stood up, he was going to say Barry Allen's innocent or guilty. 100% guilty.
Yeah, absolutely.
There
was no way.
You didn't even like. There should have been some doubt. Like maybe he gets a guilty or an innocent charge. Maybe they did enough. Build the character of Joe's girlfriend. Right now, she's just empty space. We don't see her as a character that matters. Here's a good chance to build that character up. You didn't do it. Instead, you wrote an obvious conclusion to a very, very, tilted, shoehorned trial. And honestly, I could have just watched the recap and it would have been fine. There was no entertainment value here.
Yeah,
So-
no. As soon as this happened, Brian, as soon as he asked him if he thought he was still a good man, and he couldn't answer the question, I knew that was it. He was going to jail at that point. And we still had that was the beginning of the trial.
Right.
So I knew it at that point. I'm like, he's definitely going to prison.
So the writers think we're just dumb, right? They just don't respect us as viewers. That must be it.
No, I think that they're not great writers.
They're trying to shoehorn this old comic book, story into a TV show somehow. I don't know.
I think they're thinking down the road. That's what I think the writers are thinking. I don't think they're giving everything they got to every episode. I don't think they pour everything into every episode. I think they're thinking, let's get to the finale and how we do that. Let's get there as quickly as we can, and as interestingly as we can. But let's focus on that, because they're not focusing on the current episodes. They're just not.
No, they really aren't. They're just trying to get through them to get to a conclusion.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, this is obviously one of those filler episodes. It feels like it was just we need this stepping stone to get to where we want to go.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this episode.
Okay, I mean that's a good explanation. That's a better explanation than people are dumb. They're gonna watch The Flash regardless. Let's just throw it together. Yeah. This is the moment where he says, "I don't know." All right. Now we get over to another semi exciting part of the episode. A good scene, actually.
This was great. I'm like, yes, they're gonna get something on her.
Well, I liked how it didn't happen, and it didn't happen because of Ralph and the way he broke it down. I mean, I like this.
No, that's not that yet. That's not yet.
Oh, that's right.
This is where he takes a picture of her.
Right. This is when I'm taking the picture. I'm sorry, we jumping around so much, I got lost.
Yeah. No, I love what you're going to talk about, but it's really in a good place later.
All right. Joe and Ralph are camped out outside the mechanic's residence, and they get a shot of her making out with this random guy, Dominique. And they're like, and we're like, oh, as the audience, I'm like, yeah, woo! How does she explain this one? What?
Yep. Right.
And then we're back to the courthouse, and there's Barry sitting there eating a sandwich.
Yeah. Now he's like taking a nap.
Look at him. He's literally just like, I
I
don't care. This is dumb. Everything's dumb. All right. So the lawyer's talking to him, and she's like, our only defense, because I have not done my job and I have not in any way challenged all of the premises that the other lawyer, the opposition has put forth, is to just tell everybody you're the Flash and hopefully they like you. That's basically what she said. Like, I did not do my job. I did not challenge the prosecution in any way. So we need to just tell everybody you're the Flash. Quick. I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
She did. In no way did I challenge this other lawyer. I did not do my job. The evidence made me queasy, and I just decided to take the day off. So let's tell everybody you're the Flash.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't do the best job she could do, but her hands were also tied, and Barry is not a very good defendant. I'm not going to testify.
I mean, this is
not
the
going
perfect, as a lawyer, in order for you to do your job, you want to believe your client, right? There's lawyers that defend murderers successfully when they know that guy murdered that guy,
But there's got to be an argument. Like, this was the other problem with the show. There was no argument on his behalf. There was no, There was no. What are you supposed to go up and say? Oh, he didn't do it. Well, he was there when it happened.
Because
his skin is underneath the thing. All of the evidence pointed to it.
Let's play it off real quick, bro. You be the prosecution. I'll be the defense. Okay?
All right.
You have all this evidence against my client.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about it real quick. Why was he there? It's his home. An alarm went off.
Yeah, and the victim is there, whom he's been chasing and breaking into his house and harassing for months, and we have all this evidence.
Isn't that convenient? Why are there fingerprints on the knife? Because it was his knife. They got that knife in a wedding. He picked it up and put it down.
Don't you think Barry would kill somebody with his knife?
Why? Yeah, but that would again super convenient. Why is there?
It's there. It's passion. It's a crime of passion. He makes him angry. He hates the man.
Skin on her fingers and nails. Again, super convenient. Now, this CSI crime lab investigator decides to murder somebody. And by the way, did they not check that body's temperature when they got there? No way that was a fresh
CSI
body.
was in jail. The CSI was in jail.
I mean, if they checked that guy's temperature and it was, 40 degrees, he's been dead for several hours. It's no longer a crime of passion. So that knife being there bloody on the scene, right?
Yeah, why didn't Barry tell him that?
There's a lot of questions here, and if I can drum these questions up, not knowing who Barry is, then why can't the defense?
Because Barry was caught red-handed. Barry won't fight it himself.
With a cold body that's been dead for several hours, and all the evidence conveniently placed to put Barry in this exact position. Somebody is.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
And now the wife is boinking another dude a week later.
Mm-hmm.
And she has an IQ of 180. Do you think that maybe she could have killed her husband? I would have put all the doubt on the wife immediately.
Well, they tried. They didn't but the writers wouldn't allow them.
They were like, look at that.
The writers wouldn't. I'm serious. When she examined her, she's like, it's so funny because she gets up and the defendant goes, she was like, so entering this into evidence, right? And so she's got her, right? And the judge is like, I'll accept it.
Yeah.
And so then she goes and she explains, can you explain this? And she's like, yeah. And so she explains it, and she's like,
but who can you explain it? It's not what a good lawyer does, Shane.
Well, listen, here's the lawyer. Here's what the lawyer says when she's done. She's like, no more questions. So I mean, it was like they should have written for her to be able to say, well, that's a very convenient excuse, isn't it? And then let her stop asking questions. You're right, but it's the writers. It's not the. Here's what I would have
done as the defense lawyer. See this picture? Everybody see this picture? Everybody? It's the victim's wife having some kind of romantic liaison with an unknown man 4 days after her husband was murdered. Okay?
I guess the jury's on both sides of you, right?
Mechanic.
The jury's on both sides.
Right, I'm sorry. Mechanic.
Hey, they're all around me.
This picture. Number one, who is this man? I wouldn't even have a question what you're doing. Who is this man? That is Dominique, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If you're such a devastated widow, what are you doing with this man in this picture? I'm kissing him. Don't allow her to explain herself. Allow her. You drive the narrative out of her by asking her one word and yes and no answers. Force her to incriminate herself.
That's exactly what you should do as a defense. But the problem is they want him to go to jail.
I know.
They want Barry in jail. So listen, you're right. They didn't do a good job defending him, and that's the show writer's fault because they want him to go to jail. And so that's why it's shoehorned, and it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel natural because they didn't do a good job defending him, so we don't believe it. And so, crappy episode. Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, back at Star Labs is when they decide that they're going to call the nuclear guy's name Fallout because if he gets to 10,000 rad, it's Hiroshima, right? He blows up.
Right.
That's cool. It's a cool name
That was
for.
pretty cool.
I mean, they couldn't do much with this character because they had like 8 minutes.
Right. Right.
All right, back at the. I just wanted to interject that in there. Back at the courthouse is when.
Oh, you know what? I'm so glad they got away from it because I'd much rather see what those guys are doing than what's happening in that courtroom.
Oh yeah, they got away from it for like 2 minutes. Then right back to the courthouse.
Right, there she is again.
And this overacting chick right here.
Yeah, she's got tears in the eyes, dude. It ain't overacting if you can actually cry it out.
Yeah, they're putting eyedroppers in her eyes. I don't know. I didn't like her act. I know you liked it. That's cool. I felt like, I don't know. Maybe it was good, and I just, because I know the character, I don't know. Maybe I'm tainted by the episode as a whole. I don't know.
Maybe. I definitely didn't like the way they.
I love this shot of the jury with this, like, look at the woman next to the bearded man, looking lovingly at the mechanic.
Oh yeah. With
oh, you poor thing.
Yeah. Very interesting. What's wrong with you, man?
All right, and this is, I like their reaction. They're like, "What?"
Look at Barry's like. Barry even looks like he did it. He's like, how can I look like I did it so I make sure I go to prison faster? How can I, like this? Is that it? Like, just kind of look down, don't make eye contact?
I want to get in jail as soon as possible.
What's there? What's it?
And this
Barry, what's
lawyer's
in
like,
jail?
oh my God, she's still crying. It's been 20 minutes and she's still crying. Maybe I should say objection, or I should stop these ridiculous comments, but no, I'm going to let her continue crying and addressing the jury personally. What a joke!
At least
this
your
whole
hair looks
courtroom
good.
scene was, man. It's just a massive joke. This whole scene was a massive joke.
Yeah, the whole episode was ridiculous.
Oh, that's when they get the evidence from Ralph.
Hey, there you go.
They get the evidence of Ralph, and she submits the evidence. And then she cross-examines the witness, or the the victim's wife, and that's when she goes on another 10-minute crying spree.
Yeah, I mean,
And then she goes, "No more questions, Your Honor." And she goes back and she goes, "Barry, we're."
Yeah.
You're going to jail, son.
Yeah, and the jury heard her say it.
Yeah. She said, "You're screwed. That's it. It's game over."
She should have went back to the table and said, "You shouldn't have done it." Just to really get it engraved in there. He's really going to prison.
Barry,
I tried to defend him, even though I knew I probably shouldn't.
tried, Barry, but because you murdered that guy, you're going to go to jail.
You're going to go to jail.
That's when Iris grabs the mechanic out in the hallway, and the mechanic has a good scene where she's like a grieving widow, and then she turns around and she's like smiling at her.
Yeah.
I didn't get the first shot of her smiling, but this is when she says, "What are you willing to do for your husband?"
Right.
Sorry. We're back at Star Labs, and they're
apparently not very much.
They're tracking Fallout guy, Fallout Boy. Oh! They're tracking Fallout Boy. They track him to this truck, and then they realize that it's just a nuclear waste truck, and they've made a mistake. Oh, but have they? What?
I love how the truck driver is like, "Get out of here! Get out of the road, losers!" Whatever he said from up there. I'm like, that was weird.
At first, you thought it was just because they were tracking the wrong thing, but it's actually the truck driver is the nuclear guy, which means he probably was not a bus meta. It might have been. He might be a classic meta that, is being transformed in some way pertinent to his, proximity to nuclear waste. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. Well, maybe, yeah.
Maybe the Speed Force juice, whatever it is. Maybe it like hit his truck when he was transporting nuclear waste, and that's what happened. I don't know.
He looks like he's got indigestion. Go back real quick. Looks like he's got indigestion.
Yeah,
now.
it looks like one of those commercials where it's like a Pepto-Bismol commercial. It's like
Having a bad day.
having a bad day. Get some
Need
Pepto.
some Mucinex.
All right, we go back to the courthouse because you know us where we love to be.
Mm.
And Iris West comes in. She goes, "Your Honor, I have something to say." I have something to say. I love the judge's response. What the?
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you want, random person? It's like Barry Allen is, and then zoom. He exhibits this new power where he's able to pull somebody into the speed aura, which I have no problem with, by the way. I know it's possible.
No, it's a new power.
Yeah, I like new powers.
She's like, how are you doing this? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was like the best answer ever. I have no clue. By the way, though, my only problem with this scene is instead of being like 8 seconds where he's like, you can't do it. They'll hunt us forever. They'll hunt you. They'll hunt my friends if they know I'm the Flash. Just let me go. We'll figure another way out. And she goes, and she would have been like, I trust you, Barry. And then he goes back to his chair. But no. He spends a solid 2.5 minutes inside this force bubble while everybody around him is frozen. And some mathematician out there that watches this show, do the math for me. How fast do you have to be moving? Okay? For you to spend 2.5 minutes in a room and nobody see you. Right?
And nobody see you, which means the fraction of the second that he could be missing from that chair is
right. It's got to let's give it a random number. Let's say it's an eighth of a second. So someone do the math on 2.5 minutes inside of an eighth of a second. How fast would you be moving?
All right.
Okay, and put it in the comments. The first person to tell me what that number would be, okay, I'm sending you a Speed Force T-shirt.
Ooh.
All right.
Nice.
So he spends a solid.
Wait. They got to be right.
Yeah, you got to be right. Yeah. We'll verify the math. You can't just put a random number.
Right now, 8,000 to the square root power of whatever. Yeah.
Right. Right now, I'm going with 4 times the speed of light, but I don't know.
Okay.
All right. So he spends a couple minutes in here and he tells you can't.
Ooh. Wait, real quick. Wouldn't he break the sound barrier?
No, yeah, definitely.
When he's going to talk with her, wouldn't there be like a boom in the room?
There would have to be. He's going the speed of light.
Okay? Right? So there should be like a boom or something, right? I mean, I'm sorry. Okay.
Look. If the sound barrier is broken at Mach 1, which is several hundred miles an hour, not even remotely close to the speed of light, then it's definitely being broken when you go the speed of light. But I don't know. I'm not going to mess with the physics of a comic book.
All right, yeah, I'm done. You should have brought it up.
I am going to mess, though, up with, how fast is Barry Allen? I need, the film theory guys to do how fast is Barry Allen? Because there's sometimes where he's as fast as a motorcycle.
Right.
And there's sometimes where he's a god. A literal god. Okay? Like right now. I need to know, because we've had episodes where he trips and a car turns or makes a right and he's like, I lost him, guys. I'm like, what do you mean you lost him? Go get him.
Get up and keep going.
Yeah. It's so inconsistent how fast Barry Allen is that it confuses the audience. You need to have some kind of consistency to his speed, okay? Yeah. All right. So he has this conversation where he's like, don't tell him what's up?
Wait, his speed is whatever the writers need it to be so that they can write their story.
I know. It's super convenient, dude. It's my name is Barry Allen. And I may or may not be the fastest man alive.
May or may not be, depending
on which episode villain and how the story is written. I may or may not be the fastest and or dumbest man alive. We will see today.
I would love to see that intro.
Yeah, man. So
we are the Flash.
No, and then Iris comes in. No, Barry, we're the Flash, and we may or may not be the fastest people alive.
Oh.
All right, so he's like, you can't tell I'm the Flash. I know you're scared. But if criminals know I'm the Flash, then you're not safe. Our friends aren't safe. Nothing we do is safe. You know, we'll find another way. At this point, Iris should have been like, no, there is no other way, dude. You are definitely going to jail. 100%. Like, you've really done a poor job of defending yourself. Do you not want to spend time with me? Is that the problem? Are you just trying to get like some alone time, and you're using the whole jail thing as an excuse? Am I clingy? You should have made it about her relationship with him.
Well, that would have made more sense, actually. But, you know, let me ask you this. I mean, would it really been that big of a deal if they found out that he was the Flash? I mean, honestly. Because you have all these metas running around all over the place. I mean, you already know a bunch of people who were abnormal. I mean, what really can they do to him?
He'd be a permanent target, and instead of going to Iron Heights, he'd go to the meta wing of Iron Heights, which means like he would still probably lose the case. Or maybe not, but let's say he does. Now he goes to the meta wing of Iron Heights, and now his powers are put on hold, and there's a lot less writing you can do when it's not Barry Allen in jail, it's the Flash in jail. It's different.
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't see the big deal with people knowing I don't know why he has to have a hidden identity. Nothing he does in the real world really matters. He doesn't have to be a CSI agent, CSI.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a millionaire, right?
Flash. He could just be the Flash.
Maybe not even be Barry Allen. Maybe just be the Flash permanently.
Right. Doesn't even have to be Barry Allen.
No, not really. Well,
we don't care about.
The thing is, I get what they're saying. Like, the criminals will try to get him through Iris, through Cisco, which has powers, through Caitlin, which has powers. Wait a minute, through Ralph, no, he has powers. Well, maybe it's not that big of a deal. You're right.
Listen, yeah, I mean, what do police officers do? What do police officers' wives do? You know, if criminals wanted to get back at the police, wouldn't they just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if a police officer was like this super famous guy that makes every arrest.
Ness, taking down.
But they did get Elliot Ness. They did get Elliot Ness through his family.
Good idea. Maybe you should have had a secret identity, Elliot.
No, seriously, maybe Elliot should have, because when he took down the mob, you remember Untouchables?
Yeah.
They got him through his family. So, I think that's a good point. Maybe he needs a secret identity.
All right, never mind. The whole point's out the window.
All right. He's like,
still going to jail.
I love you, baby. I just need some time alone in my daddy's cell.
Like forever.
And, yeah, because he's literally going to get life in jail. Okay, now this scene. Ralph and Joe. Finally.
It's the best scene of the show.
Oh, yes, the best scene of the show. Joe's like, dude, we're going to plant evidence. I know you're good at it, Ralph. You've done it before. I arrested you for doing it. Remember that, Ralph? And Ralph's like, mother.
And I love Joe for this, man, because that's what a parent will do.
Oh, yeah. No.
You know?
I'm totally with you. You know, someone the other day was like, well, you know, we're having like a debate, a philosophy debate on like how far would you go for your child if you felt your child, blah, blah. And I'm like, I would burn the world to the ground for my kids.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? I'm like, if it was you and your family or my child, I'd murder you here on the spot.
Yeah, go watch John Q if you want to know what I would do for my kid. Okay, go watch John.
It was funny. It was Linda, right? And I'm like, you know Linda. Oh. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, Linda. Like, I love you. You're a good person. But like, if it was you or my daughter, like, it wouldn't even be a thought. It would be a reaction. I'd just break your neck mid conversation.
Like Star Trek Discovery.
I mean, it would not even be a question. In a heartbeat, I would do whatever it took. And the same goes for self-sacrifice. They said, your daughter needs a heart, and yours the only one that matches. I would take a fucking spoon and cut my own heart out in that operating room. Whatever. So a father would, should and would most of the time do whatever it takes for their kids. 100%. Breaking the law and planting evidence is not a big deal compared to what I would do for my kids.
Well, especially when you are 100% sure of what happened. And that's the thing, is that Joe and Barry and all the team knows exactly what happened.
Right.
So it's not like placing this evidence is it wrong to place evidence? Yes, because it's against the law. Is it wrong when the person is 100% guilty? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, this is a moral question. Let's take the law out of the equation. Let's talk about morality, because the law is supposed to be enforcing our version of morality, right?
Right.
And keeping order. So if the law, let's remove the law from the equation. Is what he is doing wrong without the law being part of that question? No.
No, because he's correct.
Dominique, the thinker, and the mechanic are guilty. They're framing Barry. He's 100% sure of it. They have all the proof they need, but they can't share it. So what he's doing is not immoral or wrong. It's the right thing to do. It's moral. What Ralph says brings a whole lot of questions up. He doesn't, what he says in the beginning. Now, he changes it up at the end, which I don't agree with. But Ralph says, look, you're going to feel real good about yourself right now. But then you're going to get caught. And they're going to take your badge. And you're not going to be able to help people. And you're not going to be able to do your job. And you're not going to be yourself anymore. And you're going to realize you did the wrong thing. Not the wrong thing as in immoral. The wrong thing for Joe. It'd be the wrong thing for Joe.
Yes. The wrong thing is under the law. It's going to take away your life.
Right. And
yes,
Ralph knows that firsthand because he was doing the right thing, but because it was against the law, he lost his life and his ability to continue doing the right thing.
Which I thought was fantastic. I still would have said, yeah, whatever, and planted the evidence.
I would have done it in a heartbeat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he opened that door, I'd been like, cool, that's great, Ralph. Wait in the car, idiot.
Yeah. I would have been like, great speech, buddy. All right.
But it probably wouldn't have mattered because they were at the point anyways where it was already, the case was pretty much past the point of no return.
Yeah, and Joe knew that, and that's why he was doing what he was doing. But this was a great moment. I love that they revisited his character, and we got to, kind of go back to where Ralph got, it's kind of a full circle for him. So it was cool.
I love Ralph.
I do too.
Absolutely love this character. All right, and I love that key trick he does with his finger. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's when Joe looks at the door and says, "Yeah, nope," and closes it.
Yeah.
All right, so Fallout Boy is getting off the bus. Bus driver gets sick. He's walking down the street. Starts turning green. People start getting sick and falling down around him. They catch him on the satellite. He's at 3,000 rads. See that number top left? Remember, when you get to 10,000, boom. So we're at 3,000, which means we've escalated pretty much 20% in the last, few hours of the day for them. Which, it's a pretty sharp escalation. It looks like his nuclear reaction is compounding, it looks like. Right?
Looks like it to me, yeah.
Yeah. That's when Cisco is like, oh, we're screwed. We need to take care of this now. And we need Barry. And Barry gets the message on his phone, and he's like, I gotta go, man. To make matters worse, in the middle of your court case, we're doing closing statements, and you have an appointment somewhere else. So convenient for the writing.
Yeah. No, you got it. Yeah. And this begs the question, if he's in prison, how's he going to save people when they get in trouble with these metas?
I can't wait to see how that works out. He's going to have to phase through the walls or something crazy. 100%.
So then he's going to be being dishonest. I mean,
he's going to have to break the law in order to do the right thing again.
Once you go down this road, there's no. I mean, it's impossible to be
you can't be 100% black or 100% white.
Right.
Life is about gray areas, and you can still be a moral and good member of society and for your family, and still operate a little bit in the gray for the sake of others, not just for yourself. So, maybe testifying at your own murder trial and leaving out, the fact that you're the Flash, and explaining, and if they ask you why you're late for work, I get up late. I work late, and sometimes I'm late for work. It's that little tiny little gray, white lie is not making you an immoral person. It's not changing your character. It's allowing you to operate in the real world, which the real world is it's a giant gray area.
So what you're saying is that Barry is selfish.
Yeah, he's a selfish, virtue signaling superhero trying to make a statement because he wants to go hang out in Henry Allen's cell, apparently.
Thanks, Barry. Good work.
That's what's going on. It's just ridiculous. I want to be, I want to do the right thing no matter what and be honest no matter what, unless it means I have to hang out in jail. So Cisco hack my ankle monitor for me, right?
Right.
I want to do the right thing in the doesn't matter unless it means I don't get my powers anymore. Oh, unless it means something happens to my wife. Or I want to see what would happen if my mom was still alive. Let me screw the entire. Let me just f the entire timeline by going back in time. Like pick a side, bro. Like it's so inconsistent. Your character is so inconsistent right now. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because he's evolving or what, but whatever he's evolving into is not entertaining.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
Thank you. All right, so he's got to split and do the Flash stuff. This guy is like approaching 8,000 rads. He's going to explode. So they tell him, look, you got to like expel that energy somewhere else. Apparently Earth, this is a new thing. Apparently Earth 15 is just a desolate wasteland and no one lives there. That's interesting. Seems like a great place for a prison plan, huh, guys?
Ooh. Let's do it.
They're never going to do it. They're never going to go back to this moment. This was a plot device, but it seems like it would be. All right, they say, we need to cool this guy down. We need to kill her Frost. I love his transformation.
I love how they do this.
Her eyes start to go crazy.
Thanks.
And they vibe in over there, and Barry's getting his butt kicked. And she freezes him, and pretty much immediately he melts it and tosses her into a bus stop. He's talking to Wells, and Wells is like, dude, you gotta do something. He's like, what if I create a vortex around him? He goes, that would work, and then you can expel the energy. Earth 15, blah, 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 blah. He creates this vortex. He's clearly losing a lot of HP here, to use a gaming term. He's like, skin's falling off, and he's having trouble because the radiation. He cannot heal as fast as the radiation is killing him.
Right.
Cisco creates a portal above the vortex and expels the explosive radiation out to Earth 15. The day is saved. Back to court.
Woohoo! Back to our regularly scheduled program.
And now, is the day saved? No, because this juror with that amazing thick mustache gets up and says, we, the juror, find Barry Allen innocent. Oh, no, that's not what they said. No, I'm sorry. See, that would be a twist, right? Yeah. Imagine if they said that, and then there was like a flashback, and it showed, Ralph planting evidence, and some hidden deal where the lawyer was talking to the other lawyer, and they had chambers, and all this was happening, and Barry Allen was innocent. No, that would not happen, because that would require good writing that misled you until a surprise happened. No. They wanted you to know from minute one, they wanted you to know exactly where Barry was going to be. when this episode ended,
Jerry.
and that was in Henry
Jerry!
Allen's cell. So they said, we, the jury, find Jerry Allen guilty. Bum, bum, bum.
It would have been great if at the very beginning of the show, Grant Gustin came on screen and said, "Hi, I'm Barry Allen, also known as The Flash, and this episode, I'll be going to prison." It would have been great.
And what if the intro said, "My name is Barry Allen, and I am in prison right now. Enjoy the episode." Instead of, "My name is Barry Allen, I'm the
That
fastest
would have been way
alive.
better. And it pans out to he's behind bars.
My name
That
is
would have
Barry
been so
Allen,
great.
and I'm the most incarcerated man in the world."
And I love it.
And it's great. The food is fantastic. And Iris West looking shocked. What do you have to look shocked
Really?
about, woman?
Are you shocked?
How
Come
are
on.
you shocked right now? Have you
Your man
not
was going
seen the last 2 days of this trial? It has not been good. Not to mention, why is a murder trial like 30 hours, bro?
Well, why is it basically the week after? Maybe not the week after. It happened pretty quickly after he killed him, right?
Yeah,
Supposedly.
it's very quickly after he got murdered. And it's like a couple days. Like, how was this murder trial a couple days? Like,
Yeah, couldn't we at least get like 3 or 4 episodes of The Flash?
yeah,
Before
what
we
if
had
he
the
was
trial?
doing Flash stuff and we had like random injections of the trial as it was going
Right.
on, because that's how murder trials go. It's not like you got to make sure someone's guilty before you give them life in prison. Like that jury, it was so open and shut. They were like,
Make
okay,
sure
the
you're
jury
back
is
for
now
set-
going to go back and discuss your verdict, right? And the jury, I would love to see the jury. Oh no, we don't need to go back there. We're good. He's 100% guilty. We've already discussed it.
Yeah. You had me at today.
Yeah, the length of this trial and the length of the jury and all that, it's so questionable. Everything about this is just a joke, man. It's just a joke. It's an
Joke.
insulting joke, and I hate it. Back to Star Labs. Barry Allen's healing up. Literally, as you know, he's about to be incarcerated forever. I mean, he knows. 100% he knows.
Yeah, he's sure.
And they go back to the courthouse to get, I skipped some stuff because it's boring. Sorry, guys. They go back
Thanks
to
for
the,
saving us.
they go back to the courthouse to get their sentencing. 100% sure he's going to be life in prison, so that's not even a question. But who does he see? Oh, this starry-eyed bastard.
Yes.
It's a good-looking man. Dominic is a good-looking man.
I love how he says, when Barry Allen says, no matter what happens, I will beat you. And he's like, but haven't I already beat you?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. And I'm like, and
bruh.
Barry Allen's like, oh wait, maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It was so
Yeah.
weird.
This conversation, by the way, did not have to happen. Number one, it just reminded me that this actor that's playing Dominique, or this whatever, is not as good as the original Thinker. Not at all.
No.
The original Thinker had like gravitas, and clearly the actor had the ability to act. Like that's a really important part of acting, guys. When you're in a TV show, is being able to actually act and play your part.
Acting? Yes.
This guy is just saying words on a page with a menacing-looking, model-esque face. There's no emotion behind what he's saying. He just seems like a cocky, random dude you'd meet at Starbucks. There's no
he might even
gravitas
be
here.
he might even be your server at Starbucks.
Yeah, there's no gravitas here. There's no emotion. I don't feel the threat. Right now, no matter how attractive this dude is, he is not a good actor. And taking the Thinker away so quickly from the guy that was an amazing actor is just poor judgment call on the CW, man.
Yeah, why did that have to happen so quickly? I mean, couldn't we get
don't know.
one season?
I'll tell you why. Because that guy wasn't an attractive man, and they couldn't put him on promo material. CW is all about the most attractive people possible being in your TV show. And no
Nailed
matter
that
how
one.
good an actor that guy is, he's not attractive enough to play a main villain.
Yeah, you nailed that one,
So
bro.
they literally swap bodies with like this guy that looks like he came out of a modeling catalog.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, so you have a conversation where he's like, "Look, I beat you." He's like, "I'm gonna beat you, man." And the guy's like, "Nah, I've already beat you, bro. It ain't gonna happen." This is a wasted scene. It just reminded me that I don't like this guy as a thinker. I just really don't.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to make that change, especially when we become vested into the original actor.
Yeah, and the original actor was actually a really good actor, especially comparatively. Oh my goodness.
Right.
All right, now we get another weird scene where the captain is honoring the Flash while the judge is sentencing Barry. I don't know if this was.
I get what
what were they trying to do, Shane?
they were basically trying to show us how once again Barry's making this great sacrifice by staying hidden, and that everything he's doing is for the greater good. And it was just a reminder, remember how great the Flash is, and and so it was like this
the duality of those personalities,
right,
and
yes,
how one is loved now and one is hated now, and
or showing that Barry was still being recognized for his sacrifice. Maybe they wanted us to see that.
Would have been another really cool thing. What if the captain, when he got to the very end of that speech, gave that award to Barry Allen?
That would have been cool. But we don't know because he wouldn't tell anybody he's the Flash. So
yeah, but what if he told the captain in secret?
Oh,
But
the captain didn't back him up on the stand.
I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, you can't. The writers want him in jail, bro.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
He's
All
going
right,
to jail.
and he gets sentenced. There's the plaque for the Flash. The judge then says, "I sentenced you to life in prison and a ton of receiving rape from random prison inmates. And you know what? I'm also going to make you clean the toilets every day, and your life is over as you know it, and you might as well just kill yourself." Basically,
no chance of parole. No chance.
No chance of parole. Your life is 100% over, and you will be tortured for eternity. Yeah, they threw the actual book at him. I mean, it would have been great if he had picked up a thick book and just tossed it at Barry.
And this is why you don't leave in the middle of your trial,
dummy. And we go over to Iron Heights, that's where he's going. He's not going to the Meta Wing. That's interesting. He's in Henry's old cell.
We don't know he's Meta.
Because they don't know he's the Flash, which probably gives him plenty of ways to sneak in and out of the prison, considering.
Especially if that wasn't the wrong thing to do. Sorry. There's no way he can sneak out of jail without being a hypocrite.
No. Yeah, no. 100% Barry is going to be a hypocrite the next few episodes. Right. 100% sure. He's going, everything they just set up, he's going to crash into the rocks of reality in order to forward progress this television show. No way. Which means it's bad writing. 100% sure. Like this, there's no doubt in my mind. This episode is going to crash and burn in order for them to progress the narrative, which means that this was a bad episode. I'm sorry. I don't want to sit here and complain about the Flash for going on an hour and 20 minutes, but it's just
killing it.
It's a fact, man. It's a fact. This was a bad episode. This is bad writing. This was a bad setup. This is poor character analysis. This is a wasted opportunity, and it was a waste of an hour of my time and a waste of an hour and a half of your time watching this show, unless you want to hear it criticized.
No, that isn't waste your time because you get to be entertained by us. So there you go.
I'm sorry. This is a bad episode. I love The Flash still. It's not going to change anything so far, but bad episode. Bad episode. I wish I had not watched it. Moving on. Sorry, Bob, for that. Barry Allen is being put in his cell. I love this. You know, I do like this warden because we don't know anything about him, but he's sort of a creepy dude, right?
Yeah, he says something here
like,
that I thought was
get
weird.
comfortable.
He's like, get comfortable in there.
Get comfortable.
And I thought, why would you say that? I guess he needed a line.
Yeah, he needed something to say that was like not villainous or heroic, not black or white. It had to be some kind of like gray area statement. And so
you know what would have been better?
Get
if he would have said, still got your daddy's smell.
Oh god, that'd be weird and creepy. That made I just the hairs on the back of my neck just stood up.
Yeah,
like,
because
bro,
he's in
you
the cell.
smelling my daddy, bro? What?
He's in the same cell, bro. Still got your daddy's smell.
Yeah, so this guy, we're on the fence whether he is a good guy or a bad guy. There's been a couple moments. There was another episode where when they locked up that first guy from like episode 1 or 2, where the ending shot was on this guy's face looking at the bars, looking all like menacing. So he might be a bad guy or he might be an ally. We don't really know yet. You know what? No. We know. It's the Flash. They have the same fucking writers, okay?
Yeah,
this guy is definitely a bad guy, okay? There's no hidden anti-hero nonsense here. That would be good writing, and that's not what we're doing this season. So no, this guy is definitely a villain, 100% sure. They're probably just saving him for another crappy season. Let me tell you something right now. The writers that are hired to write this season need to really reconsider what they're doing, because the fan service that you think you're giving us by taking comic book storylines and putting them on TV, you're murdering both the history of that comic book by taking that storyline and butchering it for TV, but you're also hurting the legacy of the Flash, because the last 3 seasons have been a couple, some good, some bad, but mostly good. We're sitting here watching because we love it. Right now, you are going down a very dangerous path of losing viewers the same way Arrow did in season 4. So really reconsider your future episodes you're writing. And you're never going to watch this. No writer for Flash is ever going to see this. But they really need to, man. It's silly. Because this is some bad writing. Bad writing, bad acting, bad direction. I hate it.
Watch, this guy's going to be the device for Barry to be able to justify sneaking in and out, because he's going to find out he does something wrong or something that'll justify him bending or breaking the rules.
I can see that.
Watch, that's how the writers are going to try to write themselves out of this.
Still, you're being a hypocrite. I don't know.
Still the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your justification is. You're still a hypocrite if you can sneak out of that prison. And then we get this. For some reason, I guess his father carved the words "Henry Allen was here."
And absolutely nothing else was around it whatsoever. There were no other markings. It looks like it was done yesterday, in fact.
Yeah, what a silly thing for a 52-year-old man to carve into a wall. Like, I understand if it was like in grade school and someone wrote on the side of a bathroom or whatever, or you're in elementary or middle school.
Couldn't he just have had Henry Allen, or how about the initials HA? Or something. Yeah, does it have to say Henry Allen was here?
What about a bunch of tick marks and then at the end of it said like -HA?
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, this is so
boom.
Kindergarten.
I'm writing it for you guys. Yeah, this is some kindergarten nonsense.
Oh, bro, you would be a much better writer than these fools.
I'm actually a very poor writer. I think I would read something and be like, this is the crap to redo this.
Henry Allen was here. I mean, honestly, maybe they did a poll and most of their viewers are maybe they're 12. I don't know.
It's so silly, dude. That's
What's
dumb.
the deal here?
They should have had the tick marks. They should have had a bunch of think about this. A bunch of tick marks, right? Tick tick tick. That shows the severity of his situation. His father was in prison for this entire wall's worth of tick marks. And at the very end, it said like Henry or HA or whatever, right? He realized that's his father's signature. And now the gravitas, like the weight of how long his father spent in prison for a crime he didn't commit is now put on him. And Henry Allen's face should not be one of like, oh, cool, I'm glad Henry. It should be more like, what the F did I just do?
Right.
It should be sadness and depression the weight of the situation at that moment should fall on him, and the director should be like, look, Barry, someone just murdered your little Shih Tzu outside your movie trailer. And that face that they catch when they realize that, right? Your dog that hangs out in your trailer when you're off set just got murdered. And then roll cameras. And that face of fear and depression should have been what they captured in this moment. The moment he realized that his father got the same bad rap, and he's spent his entire life in prison.
Yeah, that's why
but
the show isn't going to get an Emmy.
We went the 12-year-old route, and
yeah.
Apparently Henry Allen was just like, hey man, Henry Allen was here. What's up, guys? Hey, call this number for a good time.
Flash isn't no Emmys, bro. So, that would have been like, actually something great. But they're not going to do that. I don't know. It's just, you know what it is? It's fast food, man. And it's not great right now.
Nope. It's fast food. No pun intended. All right. Well, that's it for our show. We did actually go an hour and a half. I hope you enjoyed watching us basically crap all over the Flash for an hour and a half.
If you made it this long,
1.5 times the length of the actual show. We've spent that much time complaining about it. Just to be clear, we actually do like The Flash, and we will be back next week on Wednesday doing a recap of next week's episode, which I pray to whatever powers that be that are in charge of this series, I hope it's better than this one.
Yeah. Well, at least we'll know we'll be seeing him in prison, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, or maybe not, that hypocrite. Okay, guys. That's it for our show. We love you all. Please come back. We'll be back either tomorrow or Monday for something. We'll be definitely back on Monday for the Star Trek. What's that?
Yeah, Monday for Star Trek. We don't have a movie this week, so.
Oh yeah, so we won't be back till Monday, but on Monday we'll be back with Star Trek, which is surprisingly getting better.
Yeah, that's true. At least that's getting better.
Hey, maybe they did like the wife swap thing, and they like that show where you like swap moms or whatever. They probably swapped writers.
Oh, all right, yeah, for a little while at least.
Yeah.
How about we just fire those writers altogether?
Let's just fire them. Get new writers. Okay, that's it. Love you all. Thank you for watching our show, and we'll have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
See you Monday.